service dog community rules that me and Weller don't follow. So service dogs are governed by this law called the 88 law. The 88 law just basically puts in rules and laws that state how a service dog should act, what are the minimum expectations of a service dog, and things like that. And the community has come up with their own rules that aren't really rules because they're not real rules. They're just something people say, if your dog doesn't do this, it's not a service dog. If your dog does this, then he's not fully trained. And that's not true. Just because the community says that this is a statement of fact does not actually make it a statement of fact, which is something I didn't know when I was coming into this. I got Weller and everybody was like, he has to be in a perfect heel. And so I was like, oh, okay. So he learned to heel. They don't have to do that. They just have to be under control and housebroken, per the ADA law. ADA does not say anything about what the dog can wear, like has to wear, or whether they can be dressed up, have fun colors. They don't say anything like that. All they say is must be under control and housebroken, and that they don't have to wear anything. So there's no legal requirement for a service. So some rules the service dog community has come up with are the dog has to be in a perfect heel. They don't have to be in a perfect heel next to you at all times. Some dogs' tasks don't require them to be right next to you. Some dogs do crowd control, so they have to be able to do a full circle around the handler. They have to be able to have space and the ability to do that. Just like, that's not the case. They just have, according to the ADA, they just have to be under control. Yes, a close heel is nice. I personally work Weller in a heel, but he's allowed to break his heel. He's allowed to be a little ahead of me and a little behind. And he also creates space, so he doesn't have to be right on my hip. He can be out a little more. That's okay too. Another rule is fully trained dogs don't get snacks, don't get treats, they don't need any of that. Which, I believe this one to a certain extent. Weller is fully trained, but I still want him to enjoy doing what he does. So I always have treats on me. I always have, he might come running because he hears it. I always have this treat pouch on me at all times. And it's not so much as to make him do his job, but it's something, we don't work for free. Why should I expect him to work for free? He should be able to get snacks too. And he gets super excited. Sometimes he does get a little too excited to do them sometimes, but that's not the point. The point is, he loves working with treats. And while I think it's a great thing to be able to reinforce behaviors, because you also don't know what you might run into out in the world that's a training opportunity. And Weller is very treat motivated. Yes, he loves to be pet, he loves all of that. But if I want something to stick in his brain, he has to have a treat. And so if we're out in public and something happens and it's a training opportunity, I want to be able to reward what he does well right then. So if this ever happens again, he's good. He knows, oh, this is a good thing. I just need to stay calm like I did last time. However, I don't think your dog should require you to have treats to work. If you go out somewhere and you don't have treats and your dog's like, I'm not working, there's not snacks, I don't want to do this, that's an entirely different problem. Your dog should want to work even if you don't have treats. He should behave even without the snacks. Alright, another rule that the service dog community has come up with is your dog dyed or like dressed up. Weller, I don't usually dress him up. Every once in a while I will. Like, he has ears for Disney, and he went to the zoo in his Nemo onesie once, but that was mainly because I don't have a dog coat for him. I have like rain jackets. I have so many dog rain jackets, okay? But we don't have a dog coat because it's never really crossed my mind to have one. But and I don't really need one now because it's getting warmer, but it might be something that I buy at some point, like just like a dog hoodie or something. And so he wore his Nemo onesie because there was like 20 degrees out. And he had to wear his shoes. And so he wore his Nemo onesie too because it adds an extra layer of warmth on them. Kind of on that same like idea of gear, they don't have to be fully geared up. According in the ADA, it literally says they don't have to wear any kind of identifying gear, which is great because some service dogs don't handle gear. Like, there's no required gear for a service dog at all, according to the ADA. Some dogs don't like wearing gear. Like, Weller used to wear little vests like this. It had Velcro on it, and that was the first thing we started with. When we tried to switch, because I started to think that I would benefit from having handles, we moved on to this, and he wasn't a huge fan of it at first, but we worked through it. But some dogs don't like it at all. No matter how much desensitization you do, you might not be able to do that. But you might not want to just go out in public with an unvested dog, because that can cause access issues, that can cause all kinds of issues for you. Having a dog that does not have anything on it that says service dog, so a lot of people, well, this is Weller's brand new thing, will get a bandana that says service dog, which that's always an option too. Weller got this at the Tennessee Aquarium. He has to wear it anytime he goes. And then their surroundings. The service dog community has come up with rules regarding what a service dog is allowed to do regarding their surroundings. Like, some members of the service dog community say service dogs that are looking around or are sniffing their surroundings, those aren't real. That's not true. I let Weller observe his surroundings because 9 times out of 10, he's experiencing something for the first time. And I want him to be able to look at it, see it, watch it happen, and be able to like regulate himself. And also, he's kind of a snitch. He kind of rats on people that are screwing with him. If I can't see them, Weller will sit there and yeah, he looks at them, but Weller has a face. And so he's not sitting there and being like, oh, there's a person calling to me. He's sitting there going, oh, there's a person that's calling me. And he's so funny with it because he will sit there and he will look at me, look at them, look at me, look at them. And he's like, mother, help me now. And I think that that's okay. I think it's okay for Weller to be able to watch his surroundings and see what there is to see. And another one, I don't do this. I try to do this. Weller does it kind of on his own too. Service dogs should always be tucked out of the way. I don't think they should be. Like, in crowded areas, I like to keep him closer to me. And aquarium, he's gotten really good at finding a corner and tucking himself in it so nobody can come up and like grab him or anything like that, especially at the Ripley's Aquarium where there's a whole bunch of children. He doesn't have to be out of the way. It's nice to have him out of the way, but at the same time, some service dogs create space for their tasks. Like Weller creates space. I just said that earlier. And so it's okay for him to take up a little space. Now, if he's all the way down the Walmart aisle and I'm on the other end of the store, that's a problem. We don't do that.